So we're going to show you how to hold your wool in your hand. I'm just going to show you how I hold my wool in my hand, and as you grow and you learn more and more, you'll obviously find a much more comfortable way that suits you. But this is just the way that I do it, and you can take it from there. So I'm just going to show you here where this is the tail end of the wool. So we'll talk about the tail end quite a few times, and this is the working end of the yarn, which is basically what is attached to your ball of wool. So we're going to take the wool around our fingers. We're going to weave it in and out. So I'm just going to show you now how to take the wool through over your top finger, under your next finger, over the next, and under the other. So it's basically just woven in. So just to get a feel for the wool, we're going to do a couple of things here, just to show you how your fingers are spread at the moment. So that is the tail. So here we go, look. So we're going to take the wool through, and we're just going to pull it through slightly, just so you can get an idea of how the wool feels in your finger. So my fingers are quite relaxed there, but if you have your fingers too open, it's going to come through really, really quick. And if you have your fingers too tight, it's not going to move at all, and it kind of anchors it. So this is what causes a lot of problems with your tension, is how relaxed or how unrelaxed your fingers can be. It can make your stitches really tight or really loose, which isn't always the best. So doing this exercise just helps give you a feel for the wool. Now, if you feel the wool isn't completely secure in your finger, you can give it a second wrap around your middle finger. I'm quite comfortable with that, but I prefer it just woven in. I'm happy at this point. But if as a beginner you may not feel it's too secure. So let's have a look at hooks. So this is my hook that I'm working with currently. This is a Furls Crochet hook. It is a little bit more expensive than most hooks, but I'm going to show you an array of hooks that I have, just to give you an understanding of the different types that are out there and what you can look for in other hooks as well. This is a really, really nice hook, and I'm really comfortable with this, but it is quite an investment for a beginner. So here we have a selection of hooks that I've collected over time. Some I've made, some I've invested in. My furls is a bit of an investment. This is one that I've made, which I made specifically for amigurumi. This is because I liked the thicker shaft on a smaller hook, and I didn't want too much length at the top either. Then you have the clover, which is from Japan, not one of my top favourites. The rubber one, which is quite a cheap one, but it's comfortable, and it's probably a brilliant set for beginners. And the bamboo, not a big fan of because it catches the wool, but it does feel nice. And then we have this smaller, thin, metallic one. That's what I started. I worked with those for 10 years and plus, but I found that it did cramp my fingers, and I couldn't hold it quite comfortably as I do my other ones. So I don't really use these at all now, unless they're massive. But I find the smaller ones, you grip too hard. It's not comfortable on your hand for long-term crocheting. You can see it's quite hard to hold something so thin for such a long period of time. The bamboo, like I say, it's got quite a fixed point. You might need to sand them down a little bit just to soften it slightly. It can catch on your wool and split it, so be really mindful of that. But they do feel comfortable to hold, and they warm quite quickly in your hand. The rubber ones, they're cheap and affordable, but again, they are comfortable. They're not as wide as I'd like them, but like I say, they are comfortable. They're a nice length. They're not too short either, so they do fit nice in your hand. On the other hand, the clover, I've not really been a big fan of, probably because of the way I hold my hook. It's probably made for people that work more like this, which I don't, because they're not twisting it as much as I do, so they're using their wrist to take advantage of the hook. So you can flip it, but it's not really my style. I'm more of a Charlie Chaplin kind of holder. And then you have my amigurumi one, which is handmade, which, like I say, it's got a thicker, more ergonomic shaft. But you've got this small point at the beginning, which helps me then to keep close to my stitches as I'm working on amigurumi, because you tend to work more so in double crochet or single crochet if you're American. But you can see how it's a nice length and nicely balanced. And the same with the furls as well. I find this a really nice ergonomic hook. It's nicely balanced, it's got a lovely length, and it looks pretty, so you can't go wrong, can you? But like the bamboo, it has got a sharp hook, so it can split wool to begin with, but once you get used to it, it kind of softens just like a pen. So in the next video I'm going to show you how to make a slip knot. This will combine holding your wool and your hook and creating a chain stitch where you'll find your style and you'll find what feels comfortable to you. So let me see you in the next video. Bye.